Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Lori Soleil with Soleil Creative, and today I'm actually going to focus on the spiritual growth part of my practice. And with that name that I'm really bringing into the fold is called Temple Loam, and loam means soil. And actually, for gardeners, it's the optimum soil. And I'll share why that name is so powerful for me as I get going here. So I just want to, again, go into the spiritual growth coach part. Here in this chapter, I'm the hypnotherapist, mindset coach, yet I have a whole other aspect of my business, and all kind of dovetails into itself when I'm doing coaching with people. But I wanted to I've never really talked about this with you, so I'm excited about that. So let's see, let me make sure we go, go back. Okay. So you all know by now that I've moved to Mount Shasta. My family and I moved about a year and a few months ago. We've been coming here for a very long time for vacation, and Mount Shasta, for a lot of you, you may or may not know, it's a very spiritual area. In fact, it's considered the root chakra of the planet. Yes, the planet has chakra systems, just like the energy systems in our body. The earth has the same thing. And Mount Shasta is the root chakra. So you're going to feel a lot of energy here if you come, especially if you're sensitive. And so I just wanted to share that. That's the reason why I'm here, because I'm really interested in facilitating spiritual growth for people, helping them have transformational experiences so that they can really build out a spiritual practice for themselves. It's really necessary right now. It really is. So I facilitate the experiences. These are some of the images of some of the women's gatherings that I've done over the last couple of years. You know, I bring in sound bowls, we do hikes, we go to the natural bodies of water, we do fire ceremonies, and it's really profound. You know, just a couple of days here can really create a pretty big shift. And I have lots of testimonials from the women who've attended. So just wanted to show you that. Why I'm devoted to helping people grow spiritually? Well, there's several reasons. You know, part of it is finding peace and joy in hard times. Boy, if we could use more of that, that is the truth, isn't it? Like we get into this existential crisis when there's so many things happening. And I know a lot of us doom scroll. I really try to keep myself from doing that, you know, constantly looking at all the stuff that's happening in the world that, you know, if it bleeds, it leads kind of thing in the news cycles. So to be able to come back to practice and bring in that spiritual piece is powerful. It will help you with that. So it's finding meaning beyond yourself. You're going to be able to build more compassion and understanding on a more meta level. It will improve your well-being. There's actually a lot of scientific studies around having spirituality in your life. And this isn't religion. I don't mean it as religion. It is whatever feels spiritual to you. For me, it's nature, connecting with nature, but it increases your health and improves, and it actually increases your longevity. I thought that was really interesting to be able to have a sort of an understanding of something beyond yourself and your life. It helps you forgive and let go. And here's where a lot of people could really use that sort of support. And then it, of course, helps you make more mystical connections, and I'll get into that in a minute. So this is the reason why I like doing spiritual growth for people. This is something I talk to my clients about, of the stages of spiritual growth. So first, initially, people start out asleep, right? They're unconscious, they're unaware, they're kind of caught in those unconscious negative sort of trance states. And then they wake up and they start to develop themselves a little bit. They get more into personal development, personal growth. And then from there, they start to learn these various things and they become an alchemist. And that means that they're kind of dabbling in different things and practicing and bringing different kinds of ideas and concepts into their life. Then from there, they've done it well enough that they become the sage. They can start to teach these things, these more spiritual practices. Then they can move into the guru status once they've gotten to that level where they can actually activate people. And I know you may have heard about this. People go to India and the guru will touch them and they have like a profound awakening, you know, a transcendental experience. And then the final phase is the avatar. And those are the people like Jesus and Buddha and Allah, the people in ancient times that actually achieved this avatar status, where they weren't really physical beings. They were light beings, and they were able to transition back and forth. So these are some of the stages I talk to my clients about, which I like, and they're like, wow, that's really cool. And then I talk about the 12 spiritual ingredients for a more fulfilling life. And I'm going to go over these really quickly. So one is awareness and the power of observation. This is huge. Awareness is the precursor to change. So this is really where the door opens, when we can start to really look at our lives and become a little bit more observing. This is mindfulness, meditation, those kinds of things. This is what they talk about when they talk about being open. The next is bringing in the daily practices, really identifying what is going to bring more peace and joy into their lives and bringing it into practice, creating rituals around it. And this can be prayer, meditation, and something called heart coherence, which I'll tell you about in a minute. The third ingredient is identifying your values. If we don't really know how we're translating in the world, what's important to us, how we're wanting to be walking through life, then we're kind of lost. And so one of the spiritual practices to really identify values. Next is to set your energetic intent for the day. This is really powerful. Quantum physics tells us we're all energy. Nikola Tesla talked about it. In fact, that's the quote here, right? To find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So we impact the field negatively or positively. And this is one of the really important pieces I talk about. How are you setting your energetic intent for the day? How do you wish to impact the world? Step 5, or ingredient number 5, is dream work. Dreams are a super powerful resource. In fact, we spend about a third of our life sleeping. And so being able to access our dreams, and either whether it's lucid or going out of body, this is a very powerful state to access. When you know how to do that, you really understand yourself more. You're able to solve problems in your sleep. In fact, a lot of these geniuses talked about going into that sort of light sleep state to solve problems, to have that eureka moment. Number 6 is connecting to nature and the world of wonder. And this is one of my favorite ways to do it. This is my spiritual calling, is to come back to the land and really connect with the land and feel the energy of the land and the trees and the nature spirits and all of the things that are around us all the time. I love this quote: of all the paths in life you can take, make sure some are in the dirt. And the dirt grounding, right? Really grounding our bodies scientifically. We have to discharge all of this built up positive ions in our system. So grounding and getting back to the earth is a powerful way to stay healthy. Number 7 is radical self-love. How do we love ourselves? How do we really make ourselves a priority and bring in self-care? And these are one of the pieces that I really focus on when I'm specializing in helping working moms, helping moms get back into that self-care routine. Number 8 is being of service. When we can step outside our own challenges and issues and help others, it just really helps us reorient where we are in the world. So this is number 8, is one of the spiritual ingredients. Number 9, learning spiritual traditions and practices from ancient civilizations. This is another really powerful way to, again, decide as you're becoming the alchemist, what pieces do I want? What pieces feel good to me? And then what are the ones that I'm going to leave behind? And I'm going to bring those into my daily rituals. Number 10 is an attitude of gratitude. To step into that gratitude space, not only does it help you reorient your life and focus on what's really important to you, but it also changes your body physiologically. It changes the hormones in your system when you can get into that beautiful place. You can move from stress to the more relaxed state, from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic. So I talk about that, and I like to infuse science in everything that I'm talking about as well. Number 11, developing your intuition and a deeper connection to your higher self. This is really powerful. We have an intuitive connection. In fact, they call it the clairs: clairsentient, clairaudient, clairvoyant. All of us have it, and some can connect to it more quickly than others, but we're all capable of connecting to our intuition. And then the power of language. This is another one I talk about a lot: casting spells. What we speak, we create into our reality. What we speak creates the visual image in our mind that actually affects the field. So using our language wisely is really, really important. So these are 12 of the spiritual ingredients I talk about with my clients when we're talking about spiritual growth. And then you want to go to the next level and more metaphysical teachings. I dive into sacred geometry, geomancy, sound healing, crystal energy, the seasonal powers of the solstice and the equinox, the cosmic intelligence of the sun and the moon, quantum healing, heart coherence, which is about creating a mind, a heart-brain connection, ESP and the clairs, conscious out-of-body experiences, sacred vortexes, and portal energy, angels, guides, and the unseen realms. These are all the more metaphysical pieces that I really focus on in the spiritual growth. For those that are interested in it, super big deal to me. I'm really passionate about it. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview of that spiritual growth coaching piece of my business. And I really feel like it's the next level for most people. In fact, that's what the pandemic did. It made us stop and go, what is my life really about? What's important to me? So I offer a 30-minute discovery call for anybody who's ready to grow spiritually, who'd like to know a little bit more about what that would look like. And for those that want to know more, they can go to soleilcreative.com, and I have a contact form. And whew, I did it. I'm going to stop the recording and see if you have any questions. I've got about 30 seconds.